That means your statistical chance. Now I'm going to start doing some Scott Steiner math here, Dirk. If you take
too late for that.
You take that 33% chance and you subtract it by the 10%.
All right, Mike. This one's for the Denver special. The Denver faithful heard a lot of chatter from Denver fans. Is it a losing draft if a quarterback is not taken in the first round by Denver?
I don't think so, Dirk, actually, because, and I'll say this with full optimism as a Broncos fan, I would rather end up with like the second or third overall defensive player in the draft, maybe even the first overall, than I would the sixth best quarterback at the 12th pick. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, your odds historically of picking a quarterback who pans out in the first round are still like 30% or less. So in theory, we're talking 2 of the 6 quarterbacks in that first round statistically are going to turn out to be good in the NFL. That means your statistical chance. Now I'm going to start doing some Scott Steiner math here, Dirk. If you take
too late for that.
You take that 33% chance and you subtract it by the 10%. No, I just don't think that your odds are great that Bo Nix is going to turn out and be a superstar quarterback with the 12th overall pick. Could he? It's possible. But is it more likely you build a solid foundation by taking a top defensive player or an offensive tackle or something, and then you accept you're not going to be very good next year, and then next year you're probably drafting one of the 2 or 3 best quarterbacks? Probably a better overall strategy in my mind. But what are your thoughts on this?
Look, I just think if you have someone, let's say Dallas Turner falls all the way, right? You take that, that's a win. I've seen some mock drafts where the Toledo cornerback is being taken, and at that point, I do see that as a little bit of a stretch. I think that would be the scenario where I would say, that's probably not the best case scenario. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can draft Penix at that spot doesn't mean you probably should. I would prefer to see Denver wait, really, or trade back. I just don't think that they're going to get the juice worth the squeeze, especially this last week with the juice. Oh, my point here is just, I think that, just like you were saying, this is a little bit of a stretch. And so taking it at that point, unless you're moving up to go and get who you really want, I just don't think McCarthy's going to be available if they don't move. And taking Penix or Bo Nix at the 11th overall spot doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
No, Dirk, if the glove does not fit, you must acquit. And we're talking Bo Nix or Michael Penix is probably early second round value at the 12th overall. I'm still saying there is some risk in taking a Jared Verse or any offensive tackle. There's a little bit of built-in risk, but it's probably a higher likelihood that these guys are going to be pretty good contributors unless they're complete busts. Quarterback is a little bit more of a boomer bust proposition, and I just see Nix, Penix, these other guys in a normal, ordinary year as being early second round kind of value. Don't know that you want to jump all the way up at the number 12 overall seed and do it. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Broncos drafting a punter at number 12 overall.
12.